सुझानी आपकी, धारण करेंगे हम, आप जैसा बनेंगे हम, ऐसे चुकाएंगे आपके प्यार का सिला, ऐसे चुकाएंगे आपके प्यार का सिला। ओ बाबा आपका ये प्यार जो मिला।
Om Shanti, can you hear me in English? Raise your hands, please. Anyone able to hear the English translation? Please raise your hands. No one? Anybody listening to the English translation? Raise your hands.
करो उस इधर ऑनलाइन जा रहा है।
Om Shanti. Good morning. Today it's the 3rd of March. It is full of knowledge, virtues, and we're listening to Baba's sweet versions. Baba, in the form of the Father, Teacher and Sadguru, is giving us many teachings. How, once living in the household, we follow Baba's Srimad, manage Baba's Srimads. And if for one reason or another you don't understand something, then take advice from Baba. So let's listen to Baba's versions. Sweet children, when clean saplings become covered with dirt of the 5 vices, corruption increases. You now have to become elevated and make others elevated. Become elevated and make others elevated. Question? The question is, what elevated directions do you take from Sri Sri Shiv Baba in order to become elevated? What elevated directions do you take from Sri Sri Shiv Baba in order to become elevated? Baba is saying, in order to become elevated, you take the Father's Srimad, and Baba is saying, children, remain in my service for a minimum of 8 hours. You may do government service for 8 hours, and then, but remember me for 8 hours and spin the discus of self-realization. Baba is telling us how to balance our life. Together with that, blow the conch shell and tell everyone, whilst living at home, remain as pure as a lotus and claim your inheritance from the Father. And the song from today's Murli is, who created this game and hid himself away? And the next line is, he did everything and then he hid himself. Om Shanti, you sweetest children heard the song. In the golden age, you children experienced a lot of happiness. You were intoxicated. There was nothing but happiness. There was just the land of Bharat. There was no other lands. The people of Bharat, the king, queen and subjects were all in great comfort and very happy. They were very happy. There was never any corruption there. The deities of the Golden Age were elevated. So much praise is sung of them. There is praise of the king, queen and subjects of everyone, because all souls are pure. No one else apart from Baba can tell us these things. The Father alone comes and makes Bharat and the whole world constantly happy and peaceful. He does everything and then he hides himself. Baba gives us the inheritance of Satyug and then he goes to Paramdham. Whose praise is this? That of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. When there was heaven in Bharat, it was the kingdom of the deities. It was Satapradhan. And there was no name or trace of sorrow. Then after half a cycle it became the kingdom of Ravan. It is remembered of the deities of the Golden Age. They are completely viceless, the most elevated beings who follow the highest code of conduct. Baba is praising us and then he's saying, children, this is what you have to become. Completely viceless and elevated beings who follow the highest code of conduct. There, in Satyug, there can never be any corruption. They were elevated there. By corrupting gradually, the clean saplings become covered with the dirt of 5 vices. And so everything has now become corrupt. The king, the queen, subjects were all elevated. And so in Satya, Golden Age, everyone is elevated. And then now they have all become corrupt. They even sing, I am now without virtue. I do not have any virtues. They are saying the truth. They don't have any virtues. So they call out and say, Oh Godfather, ask for mercy. They go in front of the images of the deities and ask to be made like them. They don't know the drama, so they don't know when they can become like them again. You children know this. You were elevated. There was no mention of corruption. At this time, all human beings have become corrupt. No one knows how the king, queen and subjects can now all become elevated from corrupt. So what we were, what we've become, and then who is making us that again. This is the impure world. There is to be corruption here. Now Baba says, whatever you understand, explain that to others. So how the world descended and who is uplifting us, explain this to others. They sing in the Father's praise that he did everything and then hid himself away. Incorporeal God definitely has to come. Who has to come? The incorporeal God. They celebrate Shiv Jayanti. You children now know how he comes. What do you know? How Shiv Baba comes? Only the children understand this. Shiv is the purifier. He has to come when the whole world has become impure. People question when that we become impure in the Copper Age, and that's when he comes. So So even now when we are fully corrupt, people don't understand, then how would they understand when we are only a little corrupt in the copper age? So what does he do? He comes and makes everyone pure. He would not make just 2 or 4 people pure. The king, queen and subjects were all pure now. The king and queen and subjects are all impure. There are no kings and queens now. You know that they were royal people, but now there is no kingdoms. When there was the British government, wealthy people and landowners used to give them money in order to receive a title. What did people do? When it was the time of the kings and queens, what happened? In order to take that title, what would they do? When someone gave, they would give them 20 to 30,000 and they would receive a title. Baba is experienced. Shiv Baba has chosen an experienced chariot. He has not taken just an ordinary chariot. Great kings keep first-class horses. Some of the animals are also very good. For instance, and Baba is saying, some camels are very good. Baba is saying, when you sit on them, it feels like an aeroplane moving. Some are such that you have to beat them a lot. So truly, this Bharat was heavenly 5,000 years ago. Baba is showing us the contrast of what it was and what it has become. This is very well known. The 5,000 years, so Christians do say that 3,000 years before Christ there was heaven. Therefore, this truly makes the cycle 5,000 years. They themselves saw a duration of the cycle, but then they still say that the golden age is thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years long. So they say heaven was 3,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years before Christ, but then they say hundreds of thousands of years. Baba explains this point so that you have to embed them and then explain them to others. However, you don't explain them. You children now know that you truly were elevated. So what is Baba reminding us? So our worship-worthy stage was so elevated. The king, the queen, subjects were all elevated. A lion and a lamb would drink water together. There were no devils there such as Kans, Jarasandh, Hiranyakashipu, etc. They have shown Hiranyakashipu, etc. in the golden age and Sri Krishna in the copper age. They have shown Ravan in the silver age. They have given all the devils different names. Kumbhakaran, etc. is also the name of a devil. It is now the devilish kingdom. That is, those who follow the dictates, devilish dictates. Baba now comes and gives you Srimad. What does Baba do? Baba comes and gives Srimads. And with this you are now becoming Brahmins, you are becoming deities. In the confluence age, we take Srimad from Baba and then we become deities. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, establishes the Brahman, deity and warrior religions through the lotus mouth of Brahma. There is no other religion. No other religion was established in the golden or silver age. The duration of both ages is the same. 1250 years. In the golden age, there is the deity kingdom, and in the silver age, there is the warrior religion, the Sun dynasty and then the Moon dynasty. Who established the Sun and Moon dynasty kingdoms? Would you say that Rama established the moon dynasty king and that Lakshmi and Narayan established the sun dynasty kingdom? No, it is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who established both kingdoms. The Father is the creator of heaven. He created the kingdom of the golden and silver ages. It is remembered that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, created the Brahman, deity and warrior religions through the mouth of Brahma. Baba says, this knowledge that I tell you will disappear. People, don't forget the name, form, place or time of those who established the Islam and Buddhist religions, etc. Everyone knows them. Everyone will forget all the knowledge of how I established the deity religion. So many religions are then established in the Copper Age. Baba is telling us the history. In just the Islam and Buddhist religions, there are so many branches. They fight amongst themselves so much. You now know how Baba does everything and then hides himself away. Maya then comes and clings to those who were the deities in heaven. Maya penetrates them. They become completely without virtue. People sing, I am without virtue. I do not have any virtue. If you tell someone they don't have any virtue, they will get angry, but yet they go into temples and say that. This is why they worship the virtuous deities. Great kings have temples in their palaces. They worship them. But there wouldn't be a single king who didn't have such a temple. You children know that you now have to follow Shiv Baba's Srimad. Now to the aspect of inculcation. You know you now have to follow Shiv Baba's Srimad. You have to take Srimad at every step. For only then will you become like those deities. Baba is explaining how we become deities by following Srimad at each step. So what you do without Srimad, with Srimad, without Srimad, plus it becomes a plus or a minus. So take Srimad at every step. However, Baba is saying you don't follow Srimad. Baba says, if you are confused about anything, just write a letter and ask Baba. In the Sakar form, when Baba was in the Sakar form, people used to write letters, and now Baba is Avyak. People put letters in Baba's box, in Baba's room. So do you get the answers? Baba gives the answers in the Murli every day to all the letters. When Baba said, when you write from your heart, the thought reaches Baba instantly. You must have the experience of that. So have the experience of taking Srimad from Baba. So remember the Father. Maya is such that she doesn't allow you to remember the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul who establishes heaven. You understand? What does Maya do? She comes in a very fearful form, or many different forms. So she doesn't allow you to remember the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Baba knows that many storms will come. However, you should write a letter and ask what you should do in such a situation. You can also ask senior sisters who are around, instrument sisters. So they ask Baba, it is your son's wedding, so what should you do? Someone has died, what should you do? Shall I go to the wedding? What shall I do when someone has died? We have seen Sakar Baba, and Baba would give advice. Directions have to be taken. If you want to become elevated, follow Srimad. This is the main point from today's Murli. To become elevated, you must follow Srimad. There cannot be directions of Sri Krishna. How could Sri Krishna come into the impure world? You need the directions when you're in the impure world. Sri Krishna is in the golden age. So how will you get those directions? Sri Krishna's soul is studying Raj Yoga himself in his last birth. Is there just the Sri Krishna soul? It's not just his soul, but it's the souls of all those who go into his kingdom. All those of the deity clan have to become Brahmins. You have to follow Srimad at every step. Baba says, as much as possible, continue to remember Baba. So when you hear Murli at Amrit Vela, or you study at Amrit Vela, so like Dadi used to say, from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning, use that time for study. You read the Murli. Don't come into any sound. Don't come into work. Yes, you have work. As much as possible, stay in silence during that time. So this is why Baba is saying, as much as possible, continue to remember Baba. Each of you has a huge burden of sin. Each of you has a huge burden of sin, not just from this birth, from 63 births. Some of you may be working for the government and have to do 8 hours of that service. For the rest of the time, stay in remembrance. Do my service for at least 8 hours. Baba has given this direction. Be a karma yogi and remember Baba and do his service. Do my service for at least 8 hours. Remember the Father, spin the discus of self-realization. Blow the conch shell. What does that mean? Serve other souls too. So which one? Blow the conch shell. Which one? Tell everyone. Tell everyone. While living at home with your families, live like a lotus and claim your inheritance from the Father. Baba is giving this Srimad to everyone. Give everyone the message that you don't have to leave your household. You stay with your families, live like a lotus and claim your inheritance from Baba. Baba is creating heaven, and so you should receive the inheritance of heaven. It is only Bharat that becomes the master of heaven. It is now, they are all now the masters of hell. When people are unhappy in hell, so when your people are unhappy, they remember the Father, but they don't know what the Father will give them. They have put him in the pebbles and the stones. Baba says, you have made such a big mistake that too is fixed in drama. Now leave that. You have become tired of doing devotion. Why are you tired? Because all your desires, all you want is not fulfilled through devotion. Because devotion has now become adulterated. Death is just ahead of you, and so you should follow Srimad. Baba is saying it's the end of the time. Everyone's death is in front of you, so follow Srimad. However, people forget such a Father. No one knows how the kingdom of Maya Ravan continues. They burn effigies of Ravan. That system was created later. They burn effigies of Ravan, but he continues to get bigger every year. They used to make his effigy of 10 feet tall, then make it 15 foot and then 50 feet. They make it as high as the roof. They also make Baba is saying they also make very large images of Buddha. However, human beings cannot be that tall. At the most, human beings would be 6 feet tall. Lakshmi and Narayan would also be just that tall. It isn't that because they have longer lifespans there, they grow taller. No. Human beings are human beings. Just as you can now see all the different varieties, there are all types in Bharat too. There are those who are beautiful, there are those who are ugly. It is Bharat who makes everyone beautiful. Who is the one who makes you beautiful? He is the one Baba. He is talking to you. Baba is talking us today. Who are you? What were you became? What you're now becoming? So how will Baba speak? So Baba is saying, forget the corporeal one, but don't forget the incorporeal one. Always consider that Baba is making all of you brides into beautiful princesses. It is said that by taking a dip in the Mansarovar lake, human beings change into angels. You now understand that you become angels of knowledge through the ocean of knowledge. Through knowledge, you become angels. You are now angels of hell. No matter how much fashion they follow, how much powder etc. they put on, they would still be in hell. Ask anyone whether this is heaven or hell. What would they say? For the wealthy, it is heaven. They don't know heaven or hell. They don't know what is heaven, what is hell. So they don't even know. So you should be concerned about Srimad. It take effort, and Maya also troubles you, but you should be concerned. They don't even know about Srimad. Such a great thing. We know Srimad, they don't know what Srimad is. What is Srimad? Srimad is Baba's Murli. Baba gives us teachings, cautions and directions. The Sakar Murlis, Avyak Murlis, with attention, you will see that Baba has given us all Srimad. So they don't know about Srimad. They have made the name and form of the one who made you so much elevated disappear. They sing, you are the mother and father and we are your children. You now know who the mother is. Surely the one whom the father enters, through whom he creates a creation, would be called the mother. So remember Shiv Baba, the one who gives you the inheritance. Here you understand that you are the mouth-born creation of Prajapita Brahma. You are the grandsons and granddaughters of Shiv Baba. So there is also the name of the father. The father, the agent, is definitely needed in between. So Brahma Baba is also needed in between, so that you can then be called grandsons and granddaughters and claim your inheritance from the grandfather. Therefore, this one is the agent. You cannot receive the inheritance from him. He too has to claim his inheritance from Shiv Baba. So you receive it from Shiv Baba. So you receive the inheritance of Shiv Baba through Brahma. Then Baba says, forget him too, forget Brahma Baba too. And what does it mean to forget him? Remember him, but a lot of people used to have attachment to Brahma Baba and Sakar Baba, and so you claim your directions from Shiv Baba. You celebrate Shiv Jayanti, but they don't know anything at all. They removed the memorial of the Father who created heaven, and they kept instead the memorial of the one who created hell. They forget Shiv Baba, and they remember Ravan, the one who created hell. They remember him. Every day, everything becomes corrupt day by day. If you get angry, what should you say? What should you think? You should understand there is an evil spirit of anger in you. So how can you be called elevated? You definitely have to make effort to become elevated. Acha? To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap-Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. And the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharna. Have remembrance of the Father and take knowledge from the ocean of knowledge. Have remembrance of the Father and take the knowledge from the ocean of knowledge and become a beautiful angel of knowledge. You definitely have to take Shiv Baba's directions at every step. So the main point from today's Murli, you take Shiv Baba's directions at every step. And then the second point, in order to become elevated, remove any evil spirits from within you. So what ghost spirits did Baba talk about? Anger, etc. Don't do anything that would make you corrupt. And the blessing is, may you be an easy effort maker and overcome any problem as big as the Himalayas in a second with your flying stage. May you be an easy effort maker and overcome any problem as big as the Himalayas in a second with your flying stage. How will the problems will be as big as the Himalayas, but with your flying stage, cross them within a second. In order to overcome a problem as big as the Himalayas, use the method of the flying stage. So to cross easily, create a high stage, a great stage, and then when you look at it in that stage, the problem will be nothing. And so what else is Baba saying? So Baba says it came a kalpa ago and it's come again today. So remember the blessing of being victorious. Apply the tilak of victory, and then success is your birthright. So no matter how large the problem is, use the method of the flying stage. Keep all your attainments constantly emerged in front of you and continue to fly in the flying stage. So since you become Baba's child, since you came into Gyan, keep a list of all your attainments from Baba. Keep those experiences with you. So if anybody asks what is your experience, don't have to think. You have a whole list of attainments with you and they should emerge from within you. And so when any problem comes, what do you keep in front of you? Keep all your attainments constantly emerged in front of you and continue to fly in the flying stage. So you'll have all the attainments and you'll keep flying, and then you'll overcome a mountain of problems in a second. So sometimes you can overcome those large problems very easily, but then small things like a pebble or a stone, then you trip. What happens to your feet? It keeps on hurting you. You're not able to walk. So in this life, you can overcome those problems, those large problems, but small things like stones and pebbles comes in your intellect, they hurt your feet and they don't allow you to move forward. They bring us into worry, and so we have to make real effort to remove those small pebbles and stones. We have come to Madhuban, all of us. So there are small things that come in front of us, they may come. So what does knowledge and yoga say? Knowledge means understanding and yoga means power, and you can remove the small stones and then it becomes easy. This is an easy Raj Yoga, easy destination. Baba has held our hands, and so the destination is not, you won't feel the destination is high and you'll find it difficult, or you won't find it difficult. And Dadi Janki used to say, yes, the destination is high, the road is long, but have attention and keep moving forward. Don't look here and there, otherwise you will fall. So in this life of knowledge and yoga, so stay in your aim. And also when we follow the teachings of the Dadis, we won't find it difficult to reach our destination. We won't find it difficult. So Papa say, keep on flying in that flying stage, and you will overcome the problem like a mountain. Simply experience the rewards. So this is a good part. Simply experience the rewards of the present time and the future. Just as you're able to see physical things very clearly with your physical eyes, in the same way, with the experienced eye of your intellect, see your reward clearly and continue to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every stage. Just as you're able to see physical things very clearly with your physical eyes, in the same way with the experienced eye, and it's not a question of having visions, but it's the experience. With the experienced eye of your intellect, see your reward clearly and continue to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every step. And the slogan is, those who have regard for everyone become idols for everyone. Images of perfection. So idols, images of perfection for everyone. Those who have regard for everyone become idols for everyone. Acha, Om Shanti. So sweet versions of sweet Baba. So make ourselves powerful by keeping these versions in our intellect, and the Avyakt inspirations are for today. Check all your accounts. How many accounts do you have? Check them all. How much have I accumulated through the body? How much through wealth? And through my divine thoughts in the mind, how much have I invested, accumulated? You have many thoughts in your mind. How many are filled and accumulated through elevated, not waste, not ordinary, not waste, but elevated? So how much have I accumulated through the body, through the mind by having divine thoughts, and through wealth, and using the wealth in an elevated way, in elevated tasks? So how have I used the wealth? Using Srimad in an elevated task. So I'm remembering Dadi now. So Dadi had a small bag with 4 dresses when she came, and she was touring with those 4 dresses. And so how much did she use that wealth for her own personal use, and using that wealth for other people in the right task, in an appropriate task? So attention on your account of accumulation. So now you've come to Madhuban, make a list of how much service you've done, how much you've accumulated through the various ways. So attention on your account of accumulation. And if you have accumulated, then according to the time you can share with others too. You can give others too. So yesterday Baba said you have to accumulate blessings. How? By giving to others. So when you, without any personal interest, giving to others selflessly. You can, if you've accumulated, you can give to others according to the time. Otherwise, according to the time, you will be deceived. To be deceived means to experience sorrow. Why are people unhappy? They have illness of mind, wealth, and body. Why are they divised? So use all treasures, especially at the conference age now, use according to Baba's Srimad and keep on accumulating. Then you'll never be unhappy, you'll never be unhappy, and there'll be lots of happiness because there will be a lot of accumulation. Om Shanti. So Om Shanti. So all these directions are for the Bharatvasis. So those who haven't received,
3 से 5 तक गेट नंबर 1 जीबी मोदी अस्पताल में 50 साल के ऊपर के माताओं के लिए हड्डी में कैल्शियम की जांच रखी गई है। जो भी लाभ लेना चाहे ले सकते हैं। कल की मुरली पर आधारित स्पार्क विंग की कुछ किताबें उपलब्ध हैं। स्पार्क विंग ऑफिस टेलीफोन एक्सचेंज के 2nd फ्लोर पर। समय है 9 से 1, 4 से 6 और रात्रि को 8:30 से 10:30। स्टोर के सामने डायमंड हॉल भाइयों के साइड गेट नंबर 3 के पास गाड़ी नंबर MP09 WJ 4363 गाड़ी खड़ी है। उन्हें तुरंत हटाएं। चीनी का ट्रक आया है, उसको खाली करना है। बाकी अहमदाबाद जाने वाली कौन सा एक्सप्रेस है? 190 योगा एक्सप्रेस 19032 जो 10:30 बजे सुबह जाती है, वह 3 घंटा लेट है। वो 3 घंटा लेट है, उसी अनुसार से भाई बहनें निकलेंगे। युवा प्रभाग की मीटिंग 3 तारीख प्रातः 10 बजे दादी प्रकाशमणि ट्रेनिंग सेंटर हॉल के 4 में रखी गई है, जिसमें युवा प्रभाग द्वारा की जा रही सेवाओं और आगामी सेवाओं की जानकारी दी जाएगी। युवा प्रभाग से जुड़े भाई बहनें तथा सेवाओं में रुचि रखने वाले अवश्य पधारें। आज 12 बजे दोपहर वेब पोर्टल ट्रेनिंग पेड ऑफिस रतनमणि दादी जी के ऑफिस में रखी गई है, अतः सभी टीचर्स बहनें अवश्य समय पर पहुँचें। अन्य साथी टीचर्स बहनों को भी अवश्य सूचित करें। स्कूटी की चाबी 7041 नंबर लिखा हुआ है। डायमंड हॉल के सेवाधारी भाई बहनें अभी यहाँ ही रुकेंगी। वो चाबी जिसकी है ले लीजिए। चलिए अभी हम गीत सुनते हैं और साथ में इसी गीत पर योग भी करेंगे, ठीक है?
ओम शांति।
ओम शांति।
हेलो।
प्यारे बाबा, आपका हम बच्चों से कहना है, पूर्वजपन के स्वमान में रहकर दुआएं देना, दुआएं लेना है। दुआएं देना, दुआएं लेना। जोरदार ताली के साथ प्यारे बाप दादा को हम धन्यवाद देते हैं। थैंक यू बाबा, थैंक यू बाबा।
लाइट।
हम पूर्वज हैं, पूज्य भी हैं, इसी समान में रहना है। हमें सकाश देने की सेवा पूर्वज बन करना है। ओ बाबा का आपने हमें सबकी पालना करना है। दाता बन करके हमको दुआएं देना लेना है। शांति की लहर है छाई, रहम नहीं क्या आता है। क्षमा करो और कृपा करो, दुखिया जिया बुलाता है। पूर्व के नशे में रह अपनेपन का आभास दो। इष्ट हमारे मिल गए ऐसा सबको विश्वास हो। आत्मिक दृष्टि वृत्ति से निर्विघ्न रहना करना है। ओ बाबा का आपने हमें सबकी पालना करना है। दाता बन करके हमको दुआएं देना लेना है। समय के परिवर्तन के पहले स्वयं का परिवर्तन करो, अपने परिवर्तन के द्वारा विश्व परिवर्तन करो। पर चिंतन पर दर्शन पर मत छोड़ परोपकारी बनो, संकल्प में भी दुआओं के सिवा और कुछ भी ना हो। बहुत काल का हिसाब है ये ध्यान रखना है। ओ बाबा का आपने हमें सबकी पालना करना है, दाता बन करके हमको दुआएं देना लेना है। ईस्टर्न और नेपाल बड़ा ऐसा ग्रुप तैयार करो, यही एक परमात्मा कार्य है, ऐसी अब आवाज हो। डबल फॉरेनर्स डबल पुरुषार्थी, डबल फोर्स पुरुषार्थ हो। लाइट वाइट हाउस बनकर शक्तियां दो सकाश दो। सार यही जो करना भी हो देर न करना है। ओ बाबा का आपने हमें सबकी पालना करना है, दाता बन करके हमको दुआएं देना लेना है, दुआएं देना लेना है, दुआएं देना लेना है, दुआएं देना लेना है।
चलो भाई, रेड लाइट करो।
ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, मन भावनी सी मधुर बात की है। ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, मन भावनी सी मधुर बात की है। खुशी हमको प्रभु से मिलन की, मिली है खुशी हमको प्रभु से मिलन की। वरदानों की हम पे बरसात की है, वरदानों की हम पे बरसात की है। ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, मधुर बात की है। धरती सी है धीरता हमने पाई, मन को गगन सी मिली है ऊंचाई।